What would happen if your thoughts were no longer private? Imagine that one day no thought is private anymore. Everything you silently run through, doubts, fantasies, anger, shame, random associations, becomes accessible to others as easily as a voice in a room. The cause could be technical. Tiny sensors read brain activity. An algorithm turns it into short phrases and sends it into a shared network. Or social. A new law treats inner speech as public information for safety. The mechanism doesn't matter as much as the result. The boundary between I think and I said it disappears. The first effect is the shock of lost silence. People quickly notice that most thoughts do not look like well-formed sentences. They are fragmented. Hungry? Late? He's staring? Why did I remember that? So the system begins to clean the noise. It compresses the stream into simple labels such as anxiety, anger, interest, boredom. And here the main problem appears. A label doesn't explain the reason. If a fear marker lights up, the people nearby don't know whether you're afraid of them, of heights, of a memory, or of tomorrow's exam. They see a signal and fill in the blank with their own guesses. A new kind of misunderstanding is born, not from silence, but from an overflow of half-truths. The second effect is self-censorship before a thought can mature. The brain used to be a draft space. It could produce something foolish, harsh, or absurd, and discard it a second later. Now every rough draft can become evidence. People start training themselves to think correctly, as if under a camera. At first glance, society becomes more polite. But there is a side effect. Creative thinking often begins with chaos, strange combinations, risky ideas, mistakes. If mistakes are punished with shame or fines, the brain chooses what is safe. Less risk, fewer discoveries. The third effect is a new inequality. Some will learn to manage the stream, mask real reactions, add noise, shape thoughts so they sound acceptable. Others won't. Children, anxious people, anyone whose thoughts jump faster than words. They become transparent against their will. Privacy turns into a paid service. Subscriptions for shielding, signal-blocking helmets, offline room. Those with money can keep an inner silence. Those without are always on stage. The fourth effect is that trust breaks in a different way. Before, trust meant, I believe your words. Now it means, I believe your stream. But a stream isn't the same as intention. A person can think, hit him, and never do it. Can think, run away, and still stay. A thought is an impulse, not an action. If society starts judging impulses, it confuses the imaginary with the real. Thought police reports appear, danger scores, blacklists for unsafe association. In response, a shadow culture grows. People deliberately flood their minds with weird, noisy images to sabotage reading. The paradox is cruel. The more control you impose, the more chaos you trigger. And finally, the idea of me changes. Part of personality is shaped in silence, where you can honestly feel fear, anger, or shame, and then change without being hit from the outside. When silence disappears, the inner self becomes a shared territory. A person starts asking, is this my thought, or what others expect from me? In a world without private thoughts, the greatest luxury is not a device or a status symbol, but 1 minute of inner darkness, a moment when nobody is reading you. What do you think about this? Write your thoughts in the comments.